In this episode, we make a gimbal for our new stove and we continue work on the bowsprit.
That's the old one and that's the new one.
For our new anchor.
A MANTUS M2. I'm Andy.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Jack.
And together we've spent the last year restoring our steel sailing yacht.
Over the last year we've done most of the big metal work and welding.
Most of the painting.
And over this winter we're working on whatever jobs we can fit around the terrible weather here in North Wales.
Once she's ready to float, we'll be setting off to sail around the world as a family.
Come along with us on this epic journey.
The old cooker that was in the boat was it was working actually. It was but it was an old school Flavel something or other, and it was on a homemade gimbal. There was nothing really that wrong with it, but it was very old, and it hadn't got the kind of auto off that you have to have now, so that if the flame blows out, somebody opens the hatch and the flame blows out, the gas would keep running. So we managed to pick up this Plastimo cooker, second-hand from eBay. It needs a new thermocouple and one of the rings, but other than that it works absolutely fine. We've had it in here for a couple of weeks, just sat on some blocks, but I need to make a gimbal for it. One cooker out. The gimbals themselves, I'll bring the camera over so you can have a look at this. They are this type. Can you see that? So what I've got to do is make something that slots into this little slot here. Would you believe that? A little piece of stainless here, and it is the perfect width to go into that slot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this down the middle. I'm going to drill a hole in it the correct size. I'm going to slot it so that the cooker can sit straight into it, and I'm going to set that into some timber which will be screwed and glued to the aperture, so that I can then drop the cooker in and put a capping piece across the top to stop the cooker jumping out in the event that we have a rollover, which is unthinkable. So I'm more or less set up to go and cut this piece of steel out. I've drilled my holes. I need to go outside to do the next bit because I can't really cut this in the pilot house. But I need to go and get some cutting discs and just check how Jack's getting on with his schoolwork. What are you doing then, Jack?
Well, I am currently doing schoolwork about Norway. So each week we do different countries. We learn about the culture, music, language, and all the fun stuff. Wow,
that's really cool.
So what's been really cool while we've been doing Jack's schoolwork in different countries each week is actually using Surfshark, which is a VPN provider, to log into different countries. So currently we're going to log into Norway, so we can then go and look at different websites and Netflix and YouTube that we wouldn't otherwise be able to access.
Of course, everything that Jack does online is carefully vetted by ourselves, so we keep an eye on websites that he goes onto. But beyond that, Surfshark provide the extra safety net of securing our information and our identity and what have you when we're logged onto public servers like the one in the marina to get Wi-Fi access. And if we're out and about in the camper van, it means that we can feel safe logging onto wireless networks wherever we happen to be.
So that's super handy for us, but on top of that it means that Jack can log on to servers all over the world, tricking the internet to think that he's in.
On top of all of that nifty changing your virtual location stuff, Surfshark also provides some fantastic features like Alert, which gives you real-time alerts on potential threats, and Antivirus, which can scan your computer to keep it virus-free.
So having a sponsor like Surfshark is really useful for our channel. As you can imagine, what we're doing on this project isn't cheap. So we're so grateful for the opportunity.
But as a thanks for sticking with us, we can offer you an 83% discount and 3 months free on your subscription to Surfshark using our promo code MELODY.
There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's absolutely no risk for you to try it, and
the link's in the description, of course, so just go over and have a little click of doodle-doo.
Right, Jack, so enough talking about Surfshark, get on with your schoolwork. While those bits of timber are clamping and drying, the other thing you may have noticed knocking about in this episode, we've got a new fridge. What I want to do is rejig this area so that I can get the fridge freezer in and the microwave into the same place. So the plan is to do away with this drawer, move the fridge freezer down, put the microwave on top. That's the current arrangement. We've got the fridge freezer there and the microwave above it, and that's all working. I've managed to put a socket under the sink. I was going to put one up there, but I can't because there's actually no space behind that panel, so I'd have to put like an external pattress on, and I don't want that actually. I think they look pretty ugly. I wanted it recessed and hidden. So the plug for the microwave is actually right at the back under this. It's not under the sink where you could get water on it. It's under the back of this cupboard to the side of the sink, and you can reach through and unplug the microwave if you want to. Absolutely zero chance of getting any water or anything on that. I want to put some trim around this, but I'm not going to just yet because we're going to be putting some either teak and holly on top of our existing sole boards or something, and that's going to raise the level of the floor slightly. So I'm going to screw these down finally when we've finalised the height of our sole boards. Forgive the uncleaned off bits of glue on here. I don't want to go too crazy with it until it's properly set, but that can set between now and next time we're here, and then I can unscrew these battens, route them and clean them up and give them a bit of either oil or varnish, and we now have a lovely gimbaled stove. Do you remember this? This is our old bowsprit cum anchor roller platform. And if you remember, some weeks ago I started making some bits and pieces for the new one. What I want to do, I want to cannibalise this bit, which is the main stainless steel chain plate, because I want to weld that to my new one. So I just want to take some measurements off this first, because once I start chopping this up I'll lose all my measurements. I'm going to take those measurements on camera so I can watch the footage back if I ever lose where I've written them down. So the very back of this is 505mm, and we can actually see here which one of these holes was being used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me just draw myself a little picture of this. There to there is 505mm. To there is 670mm. 670. Chopping this up in little bits and pieces, what I found interesting was this is the chain plate for the
head stay, and underneath is the chain plate for the bob stay. And I would imagine that it would be like a T-piece, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to weld that to a piece of flat bar that comes all the way down through and out the other side. This one doesn't. It's just simply, if you look inside the tube, it's just simply welded to the top of the tube. And this one's just welded to the underneath of the tube. My plan is to slightly over-engineer this by welding this strip to a piece of flat bar that comes down, and I'll take it down and out the bottom so that we can actually then, it'll be a straight transfer of energy from the head stay down into the bob stay. I've got the chain plate off. All I've got to do now is trim off the extra little bits and clean it all back. So I guess you see the principle here. That now is my chain plate for the head stay and the bob stay chain plate. It slots all the way through. That will be welded all the way along there like it was before, and all the way along there like it was before. And I'll also weld some lugs on to mount the platform on. So the platform will be, it's the platform and anchor roller, but it will be bolted to this so that we can remove it if we need to do any repairs. I've literally just come off the phone with Ian from Blown Away. Thanks, Ian. That was a really, really useful conversation. Sorry I had to dash off because I've got a few hours of daylight left and I want to get stuck in on this. I'm all excited now. So thanks, Ian. And we've been just discussing the kind of layout for this bowsprit design. Anchor rollers and what have you, so I now know what I'm going to go with. I know that there's all sorts of opinions out there, but I'm going to go with one big anchor on starboard side and an extendable retractable bowsprit for the spinnaker for light wind sails on the port side. So what I'm doing now is I've been working on the chain plate, and I'll show you that now. And here it is. This is the chain plate for the anchor roller stroke bowsprit assembly, so that now the transfer of energy from the head stay goes straight down through the bob stay. And now I need to weld that now into my actual bowsprit. Here now is the chain plate and the bob stay plate. What you can see here and here, there where I was using the grinder to cut the slot out, I had to just weld fill those two little slots, but that is ridiculously strong. What we've got then is our bowsprit. This will actually be about there, and I'm going to chop the end off when I've decided exactly how long I want it. Bowsprit, chain plate, bob stay, and then this platform here is going to be for obviously our anchor roller and to walk out on. I might have a little seat out there. As I said this morning, I was actually discussing this whole issue with Ian from Blown Away. And there's lots and lots of different schools of thoughts on anchoring. Some people say carry two, other people say carry one, and I've made my decision. And the reason that I was talking to Ian about that is I've got to sheet all of this in, and I've got to make a bow roller of some sort to hold, wait for it, this. This is our new anchor setup. We have got a MANTUS M2, 65 pounds. That's 30 kilos, all bar a gnat's whisker. We have got the MANTUS swivel. We have got a big shackle, and we've got the anchor hook, and we've got an enormous MANTUS bridle. In fact, that bit just fell on the floor while I was unpacking it. I mean, it's going to go in the sea, but at the minute it just looks so nice. I don't want to damage it. I don't want it to get grubby. It's a shame to actually put all this lot in the sea. So we're going with the one big anchor kind of thing, guys. We actually have had an amazing deal off MANTUS. We haven't had this for free. We have paid for it with our own money. but they did do us a bit of a discount. And I want to just cut now to an interview we did with Mantus to just explain why we've gone with this particular anchor and this particular setup. Hiya.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Well, nice to meet you.
Hi.
So, well, welcome and congratulations on the refit. I see you guys have been doing a lot of work lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of making our new bowsprit and anchor roller system. And what I wanted to do, obviously we've chosen to go with Mantus, but I wanted to kind of just talk to you a bit about why the benefits of the Mantus anchor and whether we should go for the M1 or the M2, whether we should go for stainless or galvanized. I don't think we can afford stainless, in all honesty. And then hear from yourself really for our viewers who may not know Mantus anchors, why the reasons why we should go with Mantus, which we kind of already know, but it'd be great to hear it from yourself.
What we provide is a set. So I think in terms of an anchor that digs and digs every time, I think we offer the best package.
Yeah.
We really concentrate weight on the nose of the anchor, and I think that's really important. I think we're pretty comparable with other anchors in that scoop genre.
Yeah.
I think what we provide over those guys is a little bit more weight on the nose, like I suggested. Modularity, so the anchor can be stored away and it's collapsible, right?
So when we're on an Atlantic crossing, we could take it apart and stow it because we're not going to need it for a month.
Right. And then you also have the option of, say you want a secondary anchor for heavy weather, and you don't want to keep that anchor on the bow.
Yeah.
Right? You can have a really big storm anchor that you can store away in your locker, put away the pieces and assemble it as needed.
Right.
It also helps us with our lifetime warranty. So I don't know if you guys know, we have a lifetime warranty on the anchor. So anything, sometimes if you have a really deep set, and the anchor's fluke is buried in, the roll bar is buried in, and you have all this force directed onto the shank of the anchor. And a big blow, you can bend the shank. And we will replace that shank and ship it to you anywhere in the world. You bolt it back on and you're good to go. That's part of our lifetime guarantee.
Amazing. So one of the questions there then is because I'm going to be building my whole bowsprit and anchor roller system to fit the Mantus M2. What I was planning to do was put a roller right out on the end of the bowsprit so that I can haul up, and if I've got a hoop, it doesn't matter because it's not going to be obscured. But would you say that that's going to put too much leverage on the end of the bow roller? And with the M2, I'd be better off putting a slot in the platform and bringing the M2 up further nearer the bow rather than right out on the end of the bowsprit?
No, so I'm not sure. I think if you...
I mean, our bowsprit is really substantial.
It's really substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure if you have a beefy bowsprit and you backplate that roller, yeah, no, I don't think you'll have any issues on overstressing your sprit or a roller.
Cool.
Obviously, during anchorage, you'd be using a snub or a bridle.
Sure. Yeah.
And when on the go, I don't see any issues.
I think we've decided we're going to go with the M2. The next question is size. Now, my kind of philosophy is like the Skip Nowak philosophy, which is just one big ass anchor the entire time. And so I've been looking at through the spec sheet of the Mantus M2, and we're a 38-foot sailing yacht. We're steel, and we're around about 12 to 15,000 kilos. So my inclination is to go with a 55-pound Mantus M2, which would give us security in 50 mile an hour plus, and just use one anchor all the time. And once that's down, we will never have to worry.
Yeah, I think a 55 would be a good storm anchor size. I think in most cases, unless you're in hurricane winds, you're good on 155 Mantus. Obviously, if you get it catastrophic, crazy winds, then at that point you maybe consider deploying a secondary anchor.
But a £55 Mantus, we will probably never, most of the time, never need to use anything else. We'll just be using that one anchor unless it's crazy bad.
Right, unless you're in a hurricane, I think you're good with one Mantus. No problems.
So I think what we've decided on is the £55 Mantus 2 galvanised with the bridle, and I don't think we can afford the BR2 at the moment. I'm just gonna because it's another 500 quid basically, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. We're always here.
Yeah.
Really big selling point of Mantus as a company is we offer really good support. Or we try to offer really good support.
Yeah.
We are always answering questions, answering the phone. We really strive to take care of you guys. So we understand you're cruising, you have an issue. One, you don't always have the ability to have network or cellular reception or an address. So we try as the best we can to cater towards you guys, people who are cruising, using the boat, living a fun life.
Yeah.
You need support, and we try to, as hard as we can, and we to really take care of people.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've heard as well, and it's more reasons why we've kind of gone. We've just heard good things. We never hear anything bad about Mantus in terms of product or customer service and support. So
thank you. Yeah. So I think that's really big. We're here to help you get everything to work. We want it to fit properly, right? We want it to work nicely.
Fab. So yeah, one anchor, one swivel, one bridle.
Okay.
And that's amazing. Right, Philip, thank you very much for joining us and
thanks for your time.
Your amazing advice. And we're really happy and honoured to have a partnership with Mantus going forward with Sailing Melody.
No, thank you guys. Very nice to meet you, and good luck on the project.
And you. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So a massive thank you to Mantus for just being an awesome company, accommodating us with heaps and heaps of advice and help. And pointing us in the right direction, and loads of customer support and backup, and the quality of the product. I mean, I can honestly say when I took this lot out of the box the other day, my eyes were out on stalks. I knew it was going to be good because of the reviews and stuff that I'd heard about Mantus in the past, but I had no clue that it was going to be this good. It's just awesome, this kit. I can't recommend it enough. What I need to do now, of course, is cut out a plate to start thinking about how I'm going to fill in this framework with some steel and accommodate our incredible new Mantus anchor. Where are we up to? I've cut and drilled 4 of these, and the idea is that these will be there'll be a nut welded to this, and that will go through there. I'm just going to spot weld these on. They'll eventually be rounded off and made pretty like everything else, but I'm going to spot weld them on just for proof of concept. This is it. If I pick it up now, is it all going to fall apart? That's the question. In a bit. So there we go. Look at that. That is our new bowsprit. Let's just see what happens if I stand on it. Bear in mind, it's only spot welded together as well, so pretty darn strong. I want to go and get the old one, put it next to this one to compare. Old. That's the old one. And that's the new one. It's a bit better, isn't it? Long way to go still. But, yeah, really, really pleased with that. I've got to just cut the slots in and put the actual bow rollers in. We're only going to have one primary anchor. I'm still going to have a kedge. I'm after a fortress actually. If I can get an aluminium fortress, that'd be absolutely amazing. Not a fortress, the aluminium version of the fortress. You know the one I mean. If anyone's got one, and I will carry a spare, of course, bow anchor, so that if I really had to, I could rig one up. But for most purposes, a 65-pound Mantus is going to do the job, I think, just fine and dandy. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Thanks so much for watching.
Remember, you can follow our Instagram and Facebook pages for news and updates.
You can support us on Patreon and Ko-fi.
And you can get our new Sailing Melody shirts and merchandise by clicking the pictures under the video or clicking the links in the video description.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and give the video a thumbs up. We will see you very soon. Andy,
Melissa
and Captain Jack.